Cam Newton signs with the Patriots yesterday. Oddly enough, on the same day that the Patriots get penalized for some Spygate stuff.
They're always checking.
Yeah, they lost the third-round pick in the draft coming up.
Right.
So kind of funny that they signed Cam Newton the same day that news broke about that to kind of take the news off of them a little bit about the Spygate, because no one's really talking about the Spygate penalty.
Well, it's in the news. It's just not as big. That's all.
No, but it would be huge if Cam Newton didn't sign. So anyway, they signed Cam Newton to I want to talk about several things with this signing. So first of all, they signed him to $1.1 million, I think it was guaranteed, but with incentives, it can go up to $7.5 million.
Right.
So first thing that happened is, and this is a little thing that bothers me right now, is it seems like everything that happens in this world, people try to turn into race related. So then you have a few NFL players come out and say, Sherman and Jamal Adams. I mean, of course, Jamal Adams will do anything he can right now to take a dig at the Jets. So what's the first thing Jamal Adams says after Cam Newton signs? Great job, Patriots. That's a good signing.
Yeah.
Jamal Adams is just trying to piss the Jets off to no end. So anyway, and then Sherman says, that's a terrible deal for a guy who's been an MVP. Granted, an MVP 5 years ago. But anyway, so Cam Newton signs with the Patriots, and then the internet blew up with, the Patriots are going to go to the Super Bowl now. The Patriots are the favorites. And I just I can't hear it. So I'm just going around and I'm antagonizing all of them. Everyone I saw posted, I said, are you crazy? Are you nuts? He ain't that great. Come on, slow down. Calm yourself. Anybody I could get into, I got into. I was basically trolling Facebook.
Sure.
Because, I mean, let's slow down for a minute here, first of all. Did everybody did everyone who watches the NFL fall asleep and forget that Lamar Jackson plays for Baltimore? They're in the AFC. He's the quarterback in the AFC. I mean, and you got Pat Mahomes. I mean, did people forget? I mean, who won the Super Bowl? They didn't win the Super Bowl last year with Brady. And Brady's twice the quarterback of Cam Newton. And this was my argument. I thought it was pretty solid. Who did the Patriots sign in the offseason that was such a big addition?
Cam Newton.
That's my point. If Tom Brady couldn't win a Super Bowl with that bunch, what makes you think Cam Newton can?
No, I listen, Jim. I mean, I think it's a great signing for the Patriots. I mean, this might be the Jets' Vinny Testaverde all over again. If you remember the Jets, when they signed Vinny Testaverde and the Jets actually went to the championship against the Denver Broncos, he was also MVP. He was also a Heisman Trophy Award winner, first-round draft pick. He also was a washed-up quarterback. You know what I mean? So I think that this was a very wise move by the Patriots. They kind of threw the whole AFC East into a tizzy right now, because I'll tell you right now, if Cam Newton is 90% the quarterback he was, if he's not injured, he might be the best quarterback in the AFC East right now. He's no Tom Brady for sure, but he's got a different skill set than Brady does too. With Carolina,
it doesn't guarantee that they're just a lock to win the division. You can't just throw Buffalo away and forget who they are. I'm saying the people in general just automatically, Cam Newton signed, Tyrone says the Jets fans are worried. Well, I would be worried anyway. I don't know how good the Jets were before he got there. So I didn't have the Jets winning the division. No offense to Justin or anybody else. Before Cam got there, I didn't think the Jets were winning the division. But I still, even with Cam Newton, who, by the way, they said he has to win the job. And I know some people are saying, they're just saying that. Believe me, the Patriots believe in Stidham. Maybe he won't start this year. Maybe they thought he needed one more year to learn. But there's a reason Cam Newton only got a 1-year deal, because Stidham is the future in New England, and he'll be able to run their system. But Buffalo is still the favorite to win that division.
Well, let me ask you a question then. If Cam Newton goes there and the Patriots go to the playoffs, run deep into the playoffs with Cam Newton, does Stidham still have the job next year? I don't think so.
I do.
So I don't. I really don't, because Newton is still only 31 years old.
I understand that, but you got to also look at the other side of things. If Newton goes out, You're talking about Newton going out and taking the team deep in the playoffs. Well, if Newton goes out and takes the Patriots deep in the playoffs, then I have to go into the assumption that he put up some spectacular numbers. If Newton goes out and puts up spectacular numbers, and then he's going to be a free agent, and they're not the type that they can franchise either, that they have to sign, he's going to want big-time quarterback money that they don't have to give Stidham because he's already there. Maybe they don't sign him. Maybe they don't want to pay $25 million a year to Newton for 4 more years because he played himself into a big contract. Maybe they just take what they got and have Stidham.
Well, I mean, if you think about it for a minute, Jim, right? They got Newton at a bargain rate. I mean, the reason why Newton didn't get signed wasn't because of his injuries so much as it was he wanted to be a starting quarterback. He was going to go anywhere and play backup. I mean, he's going to go and play backup to some young quarterback or some quarterback that's decent out there. I mean, he wanted a starting job. That's why it wasn't that the Patriots didn't pay him enough. It was that Newton accepted this because he wanted to be a starting quarterback. And I think the Patriots, they have a dominating defense. They have the best special teams in the league by far. They have a solid offensive line.
They lost their coach.
Right. I understand that, but they have a solid offensive line. And I'm going to tell you right now that if their running game can get going a little bit, Cam Newton still can throw the ball short range. If he's not injured, he can still throw it long range. They're going to be a problem for the AFC East. Buffalo's quarterback is not accurate, and
right.
He's a leader.
I understand that, but see, like Tyrone is kind of hitting it on the head there. As I just mentioned, if Newton performs so well that they go deep, that doesn't mean Stidham lost his job, in my opinion, because that means that a lot of people are going to want his ability. Like Tyrone just mentioned, this is probably Big Ben's last year. He's been wanting to retire for years. He just didn't want to go out on an injury note. Why wouldn't the Steelers want to pay Cam Newton $25 million a year? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not a guarantee. It's not to mention the fact. Let's rewind for a second. Maybe Cam Newton puts up big numbers because he's got ability. Because, people were trying to say, oh, you're calling him a bum on Facebook. I never said he was a bum. I just said let's calm down when we're comparing him to Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, who are Hall of Famers. Which Cam Newton, if Cam Newton's career came to an end today, he's not a Hall of Famer. No. So let's calm down. What's to say that Cam Newton doesn't put up big numbers, but decides he doesn't want to be there because he doesn't like Belichick's style?
I agree.
Flamboyant, likes to go out and do weird things in front of the media. Bill Belichick's a shut up and play guy.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Did anyone ever think maybe what Cam wants? I mean, I know everyone's like, well, he signed with the Steelers. He signed with the Patriots. Cam Newton signed with the Patriots because that's the only offer he got
to start.
That doesn't mean that was Cam's first choice.
Oh, no, definitely not. I mean, but he does have an opportunity. I'm not saying that Stidham's going to lose his job for the future.
No, I'm saying it's not a lock that Cam Newton even wants to be back there, no matter how good his numbers are.
He may not come back anyway. It doesn't matter if he has good numbers, if they really think that their future is that young quarterback. All I'm saying is this is a great fix for the Patriots to make them competitive right away again. We were penciling them in to be like 7-9, 8, maybe make a wild card, probably not. Well, now this increases their chances to slide into playoffs. And once you get into playoffs with a coach like Belichick and you have a great defense and a great special teams, I mean, look at Brady with his first 2 Super Bowls. That wasn't Tom Brady that we know. That was a game manager who handed the ball off and they kicked field goals to win these games. This may be what this is for the Patriots this year.
Well, it's the same thing with like if you ask me, now I understand the brilliance of Belichick. But if I'm an NFL quarterback, I want to have fun playing the game. I don't, to me, Belichick's a little uptight, a little stuffy, doesn't smile a lot. If you're asking me if I'm a free agent quarterback and you're telling me that I can either take $25 million a year from the Patriots or I could take $25 million a year from the Steelers and play for Mike Tomlin, I'm going to play for Mike Tomlin because he looks like he has more fun and he's a player's coach. And
yeah,
I think telling you how I feel. That's what
I mean, that's what you hear from some players and you hear from the media. I've heard Bill Belichick as a fun-loving guy is what I heard. When it comes to football, you're there to play football. That's why he's won 6 Super Bowls.
I'm not taking away his skill. I'm just saying a lot of different things go into this. And I'll give you the quote because there's nothing better. The quote holds it all. This is what Belichick had to say. Belichick said, "We have no doubt that Jarrett Stidham is capable of being a starter in the NFL, and it could be the future of this team. But we're always looking to improve the team if we can for a short term at the right price.
Right.
Came out and said we were always interested in Cam Newton, but we basically, well, this is actually the team said this. We were always interested in Cam Newton, but we were waiting for the price to come down to something that we felt was a smart deal. So they only signed Cam Newton to start over Jarrett Stidham, who they believe they've announced is a future starting quarterback who they can mold in this league because the price came down. If Cam Newton was sitting home right now and was on the price tag that he was on a month ago, where he wanted a minimum of $10 million guaranteed a year, he would never have suited up for the Patriots.
There's no doubt.
Trying to say that it had to do with the fact that they didn't believe in Stidham, you don't pay attention to football, because that's not the case. They took him because they got him for $1.1 million, and they only need to pay him $7.5 if he hits incentives. So if Cam Newton, who's had a history of injuries the last few years, gets hurt this year and only plays half the games, he ain't never getting close to $7.5 million.
Well, I agree. I see what you're saying, but you lost me with they believe in Stidham. He's going to be our quarterback. That's who they
said it today.
Well, then why did they get Cam Newton?
Because they still want to teach him. Why throw him to the wolves? The same reason why the Dolphins are going to start the season with Fitzpatrick instead of Tua.
Oh, that's totally different. Tua just
thrown a few passes. It's
Tua just came off a major injury, Jim. He had his hip dislocated.
You can use that for any quarterback, though. You can use that for the guy the Chargers drafted. He's not going to start day one, but I'm just saying Stidham is almost
Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold. I mean, were they rookies when they started?
Yeah, but he made Daniel Jones wait 2 games.
Did they have a great offensive line? Do they have a great team? No, they don't. So I understand what you're saying, but to me that's a wrong reason. This is our quarterback. We have faith in him, but we're going to get Cam Newton. So you must not have faith in that quarterback. That's a lie.
I disagree, because you're making it sound like they don't have any confidence in Stidham at all. All they're saying is that they want to give that Tyrone hit it. Cam's the best chance to win this year, but they want to give Stidham another year to get under his belt. Let's not forget Stidham barely threw any passes yet.
I understand it.
Maybe they want to groom him in. Why does everything have to be a rush? When Aaron Rodgers came into the league, he could have played right away.
We couldn't.
He sat 3 years.
Because he played behind Brett Favre, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
They also wanted him to learn. What is wrong with Stidham learning for another year?
There is nothing wrong with that. All I'm saying is don't say this is your guy right now.
I didn't say it. They said it.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying general. Don't say this is your guy with the utmost and blah, blah, blah. Listen, you went and got Cam Newton because you don't think this guy can start this year. Just say that.
That's no indication that they don't feel that he's not their quarterback of the future.
Well, sure, and so is the third string of the quarterback of the future.
Hoyer is not the quarterback of the future.
All I'm saying is when you feel that quarterback is that good, if you feel this quarterback that's good, you're going to play him. The Patriots ain't a bum team. The Patriots aren't the Cincinnati Bengals, man. This is a solid football team. And if you don't have faith in that quarterback for this year and you're getting Cam Newton, well, then I don't know what the heck you're talking about.
Hold on. So what you're telling me is that if you're running an organization, okay, we're talking about Stidham.
Right.
We're talking about a 4th round draft pick. Not Daniel Jones, who got drafted number 6 overall.
Right.
You don't draft a number 6 overall quarterback and let him sit for 5 years. It's just not what you do. We're talking about Stidham, who was a 4th round quarterback who they liked. They liked enough to not try to re-sign Brady, knowing they had nobody else locked up at the moment. Okay? Because you let me finish. You can't say, they would have signed Cam Newton. Because if Cam Newton was getting $10 million from somebody this year, he's not a Patriot. So
no doubt.
Right. So you're telling me, because I just want to make sure I understand this. You're telling me that if you're running a team, right, and you look at Stidham and you're like, I like him. He's good. Cam is currently better. And the guy just falls on your lap for $1.1 million, you're going to say, nah, we'll stick with Stidham. Even though he's your future.
If you believe that.
It's almost like the price came so low that anyone would have been dumb not to take him.